Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion. It is Wednesday, so we have two expansions paired up. This time we have three potion cost cards from Alchemy and two non-potion cost cards, and five cards from the Cornucopia and Guilds expansion. Now, this kingdom does look rather strong. Also, maybe yeah, it looks like you can get a lot of control with Infirmary trashing early on, and then universities gaining you strong action cards, merchant guilds, and to a much lesser extent also bakers can become quite some nice payload. Also action-based payload, which is important for universities, so we will want to pick up a few of those, and I forgot to hide myself, so you can see that Herbalist costs 2, but you probably already knew that. Now, also the Herbalist top decking might not be the most enticing, although maybe in some cases, if you only have like one or two treasures in your deck, you might consider top decking one if you rely on heralds for draw. But even then, since there's no other way of setting up like a reliable next turn, apart from maybe some weird shuffle triggers, it's probably not worth it to top deck any treasures with that. Anyways, I'm spending way too much time on explaining this rather unimportant interaction. Apart from that, we might want to go for familiar if we can. We might want to go for, well, university and potion and lots of heralds. Yeah, actually all of the cards are good. Also Golem has its place, apprentice to help out with the trashing, advisor. Mm, maybe is the least enticing card here, or close to Herbalist. Both of those are not that interesting, I guess, but still Herbalist might be a card that Herald can hit. Now, yeah, that wraps up the discussion of this kingdom already, I think. Just some super strong cards, and the kingdom plot is reflecting this. The alt VP is just stems from the cursing you can do via familiar, and familiar is a strong attack, not to be neglected, certainly because it's a cantrip cursor with a somewhat steep price point. But yeah, that is this kingdom. And opening wise, I sure that the 4-3 or the 5-2 are the best openings here. Because of Baker, you even get an extra token that you can use to trash to trash with Infirmary while overpaying for that. And this makes the this opening so potent. Yeah, on the 2-5, yeah, you really essentially you give away your first player advantage. You skip a turn for nothing, for something that you could do on turn one with the 5-2. So I think it's much worse, but it's the opening we're presented here with. So we will yeah, start out this kingdom with the probably worst possible opening, but I mean, it's still alright, I think, because you get to overpay 3 for Infirmary, trashing 3 cards, so you will have short early shuffles, hopefully get the estates out quickly. And yeah, I'd say we start this. I haven't played this yet, as opposed to other days, because I've used the time on the train to cut some of the World Cup videos, the match against Saldrosa, and those will be coming out starting, I believe, Friday. Today is the fifth game of the match against Yuri Kamomi, and it is a banger. I highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, let's confuse the AI by just playing one copper. And AI overpaid. AI apparently had the 3-4, which is also not great. So yeah, it is. We are not out of the game yet. Although we only do get to trash one estate there. 2 would have been much better, and hitting 4 here would have been also much better, but at least we found the Infirmary. So let's look at this bright side. Now we add the potion. I'm not sure why AI is skipping potion, and I think yeah, this is surely a mistake. What do we add here with this 5? We could top deck a Herald, that wouldn't do that much. I think since we're shuffling next turn and we will want to get through the rest of the shuffle quickly to see the potion cost card early on or quick-ish, we might just want to add an Apprentice, which can then later trash the Infirmary or the Silver or the Estate in the best case. Okay, best case achieved. Not best case with the Infirmary bottom decking, but yeah, at least there's that. And now we would have the option of adding a Familiar even, but I think for now like slowing down AI a bit with like it. I think curses really hurt the Herald deck, so we would have that option, but I rather add some gains, and yeah, here we for sure go for this silver trash. We do not bottom deck the university, and that's really the main thing, the most important thing there. And do we add a Herald? Do we add an Apprentice? I think Herald by now is good enough, likely enough to find some actions to hit that it's um, worth adding. Note that it might play our Apprentice or our Infirmary. Well, Infirmary is optional trashing, but it might play our Apprentice in an inopportune moment. But nonetheless, I think Herald is worth it here. Familiar or University? I still think it is university. Just rack up. Although, if we want to hurt AI, maybe we should start cursing it now. Yeah, I'm tending towards the familiar just for that reason. And can we set up? Well, the Herald has the Apprentice and the Infirmary in there to hit. So let's just play it, I guess. And it hits neither. Okay, we bottom deck both. But this means we can safely just add yet another apprentice or a merchant guild. We do want to get rid of the rest of this stuff, or just a baker is probably the most inoffensive one. Herald is some more draw, and we're lacking that. So tending towards the Herald. We might trash the Infirmary here, and yeah, just to get to our familiar. And we can, however, thus already, what are the last cards? Familiar, add a card that we would like to play here. Just probably a Merchant Guild and trash that. Could have also been another Apprentice, actually. No, let's maybe as weird as it is. Oh no, let's just top deck a Herald actually, and if we find it with the familiar, we might um, just play it. But yeah, racking up a few coffers here might be really good, because then next turn we get to do a big Infirmary overpay, get rid of the last coppers, and that's also why I add this Herbalist there. If we don't hit nice stuff with this Herald, it might be time for one of the universities to go, but here I think we'll just trash maybe the Merchant Guild. Yeah, maybe add another Herald, add another Merchant Guild, and wait, we can get some more information on what we'll have here. Yeah, the Herald is now guaranteed to hit something, and this one as well. So we can just add a bunch of merchant guilds. And do we want to overpay, or are we a bit on the greedier side and just add, I don't know, something like Golem and the last Herald? I think we're certainly on the greedier side. Golem is a great card here. Sometimes Golem as a village or as a draw is not that great. If you have too many terminals in your deck, then if playing the Golem plainly might just yield a very sad time. But here it will certainly find two actions. It's essentially plus two cards, plus two actions, and Yeah, that's great. I think we do top deck the potion. As I said, this makes it less likely for the potion to be in the deck for Herald to accidentally hit. And yeah, here we already have 2 actions, so we can play the golem safely. And this prompts us to trash probably a copper, play this university for some merchant guild probably, and yeah, it's a bit awkward because we might have wanted to trash this potion actually, just in order to ensure that we draw. Because we have merchant guilds galore down there. Actually, yeah, that might be the better play here to just ensure that we draw. Um, and yeah, add another merchant guild now. I believe there's more herald down there which we'll hit, so it's good to put some more actions in the discard. And what has AI been doing so far? Essentially nothing. We can add another apprentice. Let's try to get rid of this copper here and draw through. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 merchant guilds in play. So if we wanted to be super safe, we just overpay this infirmary and trash those 2 coppers. Otherwise, I think it's also fine. Ooh, a fun thing we can do, and I think it's too cute to not do it. Let's buy a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then buy an infirmary, overpaying 6. So we've bought loads of cards this turn, but in the end, what will happen is we'll get to trash them all out. And this means that we get a bunch of coffers. That's super neat. Wow, I didn't see this when analyzing this kingdom. We do need to be a bit. I cannot talk. We do need to be a bit careful about piles because there are only 6 curses left and 2 merchant guilds. But yeah, we now have a super clean deck. This is not an optimal draw. I think we just trash a herald actually, because we want to distribute 1 more curse. It could have also been the familiar for the potion cost clause to come in. I don't know, not the cleanest for sure. Let's hope, yeah, okay, we find the golem to pick up the last merchant guild, play this infirmary, not trashing anything. We do have more coppers down there, which is a tiny bit annoying. No, the 1 copper is still down there. Let's try to, and also another apprentice, which I would prefer to not play. But apparently it seems like we probably will play it, in which case we can just add some more plus buy, probably. And yeah, we do play it here. Do we just trash the herald? Do we have enough actions to justify that? I think we do. And yeah, we get to play a bunch of those. We can just simply, this is such a funny little interaction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then overpay 5 for this infirmary to trash them again. I mean, we don't need to do this, but we might as well. And this is really funny. And then yeah, use up our buys. Actually, the baker should have been just another herbalist for extra. Although no, we wouldn't have had the action. Anyways, but get to top deck a copper and win with 49 coffers to spare. What do we learn from this kingdom? Well, in a kingdom with lots of strong potion cost cards, don't delude yourself into thinking they're skippable. Because, I mean, AI did build sorry excuse for a deck here. And yeah, it should have gone for some potion stuff. I don't know what happened. It also didn't have the greatest opening, but yeah, I think for given that we had like the kind of the bad opening with the 2-5 with which is just a plain turn, one turn slower than the 5-2. We did manage to get going rather quickly. Had some nice decisions there with the apprentices and managed to build up a nice army of merchant guilds. And yeah, I'm not super sure how much especially this this infirmary play here really was worth it, warranted, whatever. But I mean, it did allow us to have a super clean deck while also racking up a bunch of coffers. So that was very cute. Anyways, 15 minutes, 16 minutes seems to be the average length of my videos. Go check out the fifth game of the match against Yurikamomi if you haven't done so, and I hope you're having a great time, and I'll catch you in the next one, which is not going to be tomorrow, I think. I think until Sunday I won't be able to record any dailies because I will be in somewhere in Italy and skiing, hopefully, if everything goes all right. Anyways, that wraps up this video, and I will say goodbye. Until then.